Hello. Can everyone hear me? My comment section's gone again. I don't know how to fix it. Put this on here. Alright. Is the music too loud? Are all the sounds okay? I don't think they can hear the music. It's too loud on my side.
Should I use my phone?
I think it's okay. They said it's perfect, so we're all good. Alright, so today it's leg lock day again. Let's see what's up. Kill your iPhone is.
Huh?
Let's go here. Alright, so we did I'll quickly recap everything like I always do. But if you weren't here last time, we looked at all the leg entanglements. We tried to learn their names, and I think we did the entries the week before, maybe, or maybe we did it in the same day. But anyway, so quickly recap everything, and then we'll move on to the attacks today. So we have our standard ashi. This is our first position we learn, or the one leg X, and our main entry for it is that shin to shin entry we did there. Oh yeah, and I did a top entry and a bottom entry for every little slice to make it easier for people. So there's our top entry to the one leg X, double outside entry from the top. Double outside means this position here. Sometimes we know it as belly down foot lock. That's our outside position. Our bottom entry, this is quite a popular one. So we're just gonna underhook one of the legs, pull it toward us as hard as we can, use our knee to make a little bit of space, and there we are. You could stay in standard ashi, and there's a lot of different transitions, but that's our little basic intro there. 50-50, we did a little knee on belly inversion. It looks like this. Cross ashi is our standard leg drag approach. We just drag the leg and we can just sit back. And that also can become a saddle entry. Next up is our saddle entry, which we settled with the back step one. And for the bottom entry, we did the full sweep, which is just a butterfly hook coming in, forcing the person to go leg weave on you, and then you bounce out. Okay? And like I said, I went into details with it in the previous lesson, so I'm just rushing through them. Here's people's homework now. Let's see if people remember. The names on which side is the strong side and the weak side. So you have standard ashi, which everyone should know by now. That's the foot there, pinch of the knees, and etc. Knowing which side is the strong side and which side is the weak side is your main goal. Again, if I'm leaning this way, that's the strong side. If I'm reaping, like in this scenario here, that's the weak side. Main purpose for the weak side, it's easier to expose the heel. Right, that's the main reason. Hello, Elise. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the rubbish side, okay? We just call it the weak side, mainly because the person escapes towards that side. We have outside ashi, which is here. These are just the static positions to make it nice and clear for people. So it looks like this. And the leg kind of positioning can vary. You can triangle your legs, you can cross them. Lots of people play different ways. Cross ashi or leg drag. This is the one most people are common with. Anytime you have a leg drag, you have cross ashi. The only difference is you're both lying down and this foot is normally on the hip. A very easy position to lose, so always kind of secure the knee, and we'll see it in today's lesson, but we can still bite the heel from there. 50-50, basically cross ashi with the foot inside. 80-20, which is our main one, which is just a shrimp to clear your knee line, and that becomes 80-20. And then the last two in the leg lock world, we have the saddle, which there's 1,000 transitions from it, but it's basically a cross ashi with a triangle. And we have inside ashi, which is exactly the same, but the legs on the other side. So we call it game over as well. Okay, so that's all the leg lock kind of names. Okay, like I said last lesson, the most important part is knowing which position is which, both for attacking and defending. If you're aware of where you are, then you can do the escape accordingly that we learned today. Okay, but you must know all of these positions at some point if you're doing leg locks. Now we come into attacks, which is today's lessons. We're just going to look at how it works and the easiest sort of setups, or the beginners sort of setups. Any questions so far? So now is the actual lesson from today. If you like any of the other stuff that I was talking about earlier, just watch the previous lessons. I go into a bit more detail on it. Alright, paying attention, Kiri? It's today's lesson now. Alright, so we have standard ashi heel hook now. So we're gonna stick with the same entries we had before, but we just did a regular sweep here. Now, before I go into the actual submission, I would keep this leg here, which I didn't do, under control before you start doing anything, right? That would just limit people's escape a bit easier. When I'm ready to go for the submission, that's when we kind of transition. But our standard heel hook from here, our right hand here is gonna reach for the heel or anything that we can find around that level there, depending on the person's like limb length, basically. Okay, but just reach over, grab anything you can find, and here's where it starts to get a bit tougher. The best way so for beginners, what you really need to learn is there's a heel here, right, on the foot. The main difference beginners kind of mess up all the time is not knowing the difference between a foot lock and a heel hook. Okay, a full wrap, that's what we call a foot lock. Okay, for a heel hook we never put, oh crap, what did I do? Hold on. For a heel hook, you can see my bottom wrist there, it never goes all the way through behind Kirsten's calf. Right? That's your main thing. Like if you're doing a heel hook, don't shoot your whole arm through, because you're never gonna get it. You'll get a foot lock instead. Okay? And if you just know that bit, it will help you out a lot more later on. But there, I captured the heel, my hands collapsed together, and that's our heel hook. Again, don't focus on all of these too much, because you actually need to practice these to actually be good at it. You need to know the digging mechanics and how to like properly apply the submission, and it's not enough just watching it. But what I want you to know is that you are in single leg X, okay, and in one of the submissions from there is this heel hook, because today we might do the escapes as well, which is a bit more important than the actual attacks. But that's our standard heel hook, okay? So there, reach in, we slide the heel through, and then we bite. Next up, we have the inside ashi heel hook, which is, hold on, everything's frozen.
What does ashi mean? Does it mean anything?
I forgot what ashi means.
Oh. So it means something.
Google it.
'Cause I've never heard you guys say ashi until
The leg lock road.
freaking lesson.
It's a Japanese name for something. Is it leg attack?
In Japanese.
Let's see what ashi means.
It can be used to refer to both the legs and feet and often has a negative meaning.
Why is it a negative meaning?
I don't know.
You're calling someone a foot? Ashi is ankle in Japanese. Why is it, wait, is it negative? Why does it have a negative meaning? It might be different in the actual thing. But in judo, it just means ankle. I know, yeah. Ashiwaza, ankle technique. Ooh. That's cool.
So the kanji can be read
Morning,
differently.
Pete. You can what?
That the kanji can be read differently, which is why it can be referred to both legs and feet.
Oh, I see. Alright. Moving on. So we had that standard ashi position. Inside ashi. Or sometimes we just call it the reap as well. It's a bit more easy to kind of find the hill, and it's the one I'll choose beginners a bit more to teach them, right? Because you don't actually have to learn the crazy super digging mechanics from it. But as you can see here, I'm keeping both the legs control from the beginning there, and I want to get this foot on the inside there, okay, underneath Kirsten's thigh. And it's going to be really difficult if I don't make space. So I'm going to use my little butterfly hook there to make this little gap for me to wedge my foot through. Now, a word of warning, do not do this if someone knows leg locks on you. Like they have a wider range of knowledge than you.
They're better than you.
They're better than you, yes, in simple terms. They're better than you, right? Because you get nastily countered while this foot is going inside. Okay, there's a corkscrew, a steamer lock. You have to be really quick with this little transition. So there is a safe time to do it, and it's when the person's not sitting up like Kirsty in here, right? Because right now she can just reach for my foot very easily. If she was all the way down, it's a lot easier to do this, okay? But if the person doesn't know, happy days, okay? But look at that. Boom, wedge the foot inside, triangle legs. You're in inside ashi, and you can see the heel is way more visible for any sort of reap. There. Find the heel, clasps, and then apply. Okay, so one more time without me stopping. Control both legs, shoot in for your triangle, find the heel, and apply. There's one thing you guys need to know about reaping sort of heel hooks, right? Which is this sort of version. The leg, her knees facing towards that direction there, and it looks like if you just grab the heel, it's very intuitive to just spin towards that direction to apply the submission, right? Because everything is facing that way, and it just feels like you want to do that when you get the heel hook. But it's actually her escape window to spin to that direction. Okay? So anytime you have a reaping sort of version of the heel hook, I didn't do it here. Whoa, how did I do that? Oh, I didn't know I could zoom in. That's cool. Alright. Any time you have this version of a heel hook, and this could be from standard or from belly down, any form of reaping sort of submission, try to lean over the foot to apply. Okay, see how I'm on my elbow here? I will lean over to this direction, and I will try to use my wrist to just pull this towards my chest without rotating and without turning my knee, without helping her escape. Okay? You often see people just ripping the heel hook in that direction really fast, which it does work, but it's all kind of ankle torque instead of knee pressure, right? So some people won't tap to the fast reap because they have flexible ankles, or they'll just spin with you. You want to stop the spin. Okay. Next up, the outside Ashi heel hook. Probably one of the most unforgiving one if you don't catch it in time. And we'll see why in the escapes lesson. But I go over here to my cross Ashi. The outside Ashi, sorry. And just like the standard Ashi, I'm finding the heel again.
Is it outside because your ankle's outside?
It's outside because I have both my legs on the outside. It's the actual name for it is double outside Ashi.
So the name just depends on where your ankles are.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you have both your legs on the outside there, that's outside Ashi. Inside Ashi, you have this leg on the inside.
Okay.
I didn't give them the names, but it's easier to actually just know this is one leg X and this is outside Ashi.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I think I'd get it better that way as well.
Yeah, the one leg X one I think everyone gets.
Yeah.
And you start adding Ashis,
If you start giving it new names,
it gets confused, yeah. But anyway, we find the heel here. And we get the bite. And you see how I'm applying here. This is what I mean. This is the position you usually want to be in, even if you're reaping. You see this one here? Where we reaped, right? If you can just imagine me kind of doing the same thing, even with a reaped leg, going towards that direction and finishing, that will be the strongest finish, okay? Which is this. The main issue we're going to see about this position is sometimes we get squashed on it by the person coming up. It's a valid counter for it. You can avoid it with speed, or if you got very long legs, sometimes you can flare this knee to block their chest. Okay, but it's usually the threat of the foot that stops them from coming up sometimes, because it's quite powerful. So that's our outside Ashi hook. Again, the leg configuration here, don't be too fixated on this version because there's a lot of different ones. Remember, you can do the triangle as well of your legs to kind of pull the person towards you a bit better. And always expect the rolls and etc. Okay, just be ready to follow up. That's our outside heel hook attack. Now, 80-20 heel hook. Notice how I didn't put 50-50 heel hook in this lesson. It's because anytime you are in 50-50, remember we're trying to go to 80-20 so we can heel hook people from there, okay? Or leg lock or knee bar, but just don't stay in 50-50 unless you're very, very confident in your heel hooks and stuff. So here I shrimp to get my knee cleared, okay? Now I can start attacking Kirstine while she can't attack my foot anymore. She has attacks on these legs. But there's the heel hook there. And you can put foot together, you can triangle across, which is one of the newest versions. But the 50-50 heel hook is quite powerful, so once you actually get it,
80-20.
yeah, 50-50 or 80-20. But just that shrimp, okay? Just remember this, and you'll be able to place more safely, attacking and defending at the same time. And there's quite a nice few transitions that you can do. You can throw this leg over to go to saddle. You can throw this over here to go to outside sankaku. You can knee bar, toe hold these 2 foots. So there's a lot to play around with once you do that little shrimp. Okay. Then we go to the last one, which is our 411 chain. Again, we're here already in 411. This is probably the most common one that we learn. We have double trouble, which means we're controlling both of the foot before we actually go in for the dig, and that basically secures your partners in that static position while you work on your submission. There's a lot of chains that you can do before the actual heel, but this is the simplest one. Our free hand is going to reach underneath the leg to hook, ideally to grab the heel. If you can't reach it, we take anything that we can find around this area. Okay, that will secure the leg positioning. Now it's a race between you finding the heel and the person hiding the heel. And if they don't know how to hide, you get a nice easy bite. Okay, with this one, it's one of those unforgiven heel hooks. Not unforgiven, I mean like forgiven, in terms of you can rotate this one as much as you want. Okay, they will spin with you, and ideally you want to do that thing again, like I said, where you lean over and then you bridge into their knee. But because it's an inside heel hook, it does a lot more damage than the outside one, so you can get away with a lot of bad technique with this one. Okay, so again, from here we reach underneath to grab the calf or the heel, and then we just shoot in. Now, I've never actually used this. There's a lot, it's like 20 better ways of actually digging the heel, but this is the easiest way to explain it to beginners, and it makes it really clear. Okay, you can pass this foot across the other side, you can trap it on your shoulder, lots of different ways of finding the heel. Okay, any questions so far? Let's see, what's this? Hip through the knee, rotating heel, hip through. So there's 2 different types of heel hooks whenever you apply them. We have rotating ones, which is, I mean, just rotating with like your arms twisting in that direction, right? Which like hits this little bit of your foot. And then, but I don't mean rotating as in like your whole hips to the side, right? So you stay exactly the same, but your kind of arms just rip to the side, and that will like do this a little bit more damage on this. You won't do so much damage here. If I were to get off my elbow, lean over the top, okay, and then hip into the knee, that would be the deadly one. Which the best way to explain it, so you can get a mental image out of it, because I'm not doing it properly there, is from the outside position here. Forget that we're in outside actually for a second here, right? And just imagine this is the saddle. You'll be kind of like this, the same way. But you have a triangle, obviously, and etc. And the leg will be on the other side. But you see how I'm on my shoulder, and then I'm like hipping into it, and then I'm pulling this towards me. So that's the most kind of like technical way of finishing. Well, the most damaging, I'd say. But to be honest, any kind of rip that you do here should be okay. Then we have the traditional kind of counter, which is the running man escape that everyone should be ready for. So Kirstine here is doing a heel hook on me. I start doing the running man escape, which you will learn in details in the escape lessons. But you can see me pushing the knee here, getting my base, and starting to run away. And we'll learn later on that as long as I get my knee line out, I'm completely out. So to prevent that, she's gonna quickly pass this leg to the other side. And let's see if people remember what this position is. Brownie points for who can name this.
Did we do it or the last week?
Yeah, it's last week. Can you turn the lights? Oh crap. It's on the title. Well done. Very good.
10 out of 10.
Brownie points for everyone. That's our game over position, or inside ashi. But it's one of those traditional transitions that we learn there. And it's a lot. This is what I mean, right? I said that I'd never actually do this version. Well, I've never seen people do this version of the inside entry. Because like I said, your foot is in a lot of danger going in here. But from the saddle, it's really safe. Because you're attacking here, the person's defending. And your foot is already triangled, so there's no attacks for them. And again, same thing here from the inside ashi. Don't just try to rip the person to the side, because again, you will probably turn your knees at the same time and you'll help the person escape. Okay? Try to do as much as you can to lean over that shoulder and apply in that direction. Cool? So, again, we learned the standard ashi heel hook. Which is just our standard position. Okay. Inside ashi heel hook, we talked about the dangers of this one. Safe time to do it is when they're not sitting up, which is game over as well. Same position. Outside ashi heel hook. This one you need to find the best sort of leg work for your body type, okay? And I'd say for people who are a bit long limb, cross your feet and flare your knee out. That'll give you the best chance of stopping people from coming up. The triangle version can be very good as well, but just play around with the leg positionings until you find one that suits you. 80-20 heel hook, so a 50-50 rule. Anytime you're there, do that shrimp to get your knee out and then fight from there. Um, 411 heel hooks. Boom. So with some of these heel hooks, when do you know when to put it and when to let it go? In terms of safe training partner, when they're new to no gear, just try to spin out heel hooks. When to let go and put the most. You can, so it takes a bit of time, but you will know when you got a heel hook. In terms of, if you don't know you have a heel hook, right, it can be a bit dangerous. But the actual heel hook grip, so if you go here and I actually get the heel hook at some point, let's go to this one. So we're here. I find the hill, right? And I get the bite. So here, if I stop bridging and the person doesn't tap, okay, or they start spinning, the actual grip, it's a great way of controlling someone, okay? So if they spin aggressive to one side, as long as you have that nice bite and you're staying in tight, right, you won't actually hurt the person, you won't apply it, and you can follow them wherever they go. It's almost like a footlock, right? When we hook the footlock and we just hold on to it and the person spins, you kind of go with them, right? And only if you like arch backwards, that's when you apply with a footlock. The heel hook is kind of the same. You can hold on to the heel hook, they can spin and you can stay with the hold. And then once you're applying, you always have to kind of like pull towards you, shrug your shoulders, and then kind of like twist or bridge, right? So you can follow someone without them getting injured. The only time you're gonna injure someone is if you're following them and you're doing all of those three things at the same time, and the person should be tapping. I wouldn't kind of care about an outside heel hook, which is this one. Like if they're spinning towards the right direction, you can apply on it quite heavily, because it's very unlikely that you hurt their knee if they're rolling to the right side, and etc. But with the inside one, that's the dangerous one. Let's take the 411 here. So here, this one, if I get the heel here and I start applying and Kirsten were to like just start doing the running man escape really late, you need to tell the person to stop. Okay, otherwise they'll pop their own knee. So these are the scenarios I'd let go. Be careful with inside heel hooks a little bit more than the outside heel hooks, okay? Because the outside one, you pop their foot probably, but you'll be these little bits here, and maybe the knee a little bit here, but it's repairable. But the inside one is not as repairable. Cool. But yeah, these ones I'll let go. The outside ones I'd follow through, because you need to learn how to follow through, okay? If you go here and you bite the heel and the person starts escaping and you're worried of injuring the person every time, you'll never get good at rolling with them, which you need to learn. With the inside one, you don't really need to learn to roll with them unless you don't have the heel yet. So right now, Kirsten should be rolling with me. She doesn't have the heel, you see? If she had the heel, she didn't need to roll. Cool? Any questions so far about any of these? Alright, just quiz time. I'm gonna quiz you guys every week on their names to make sure everybody got it. Last week wasn't so bad. I think people only got one of them wrong. Like I said, all of these, right, you'll be able to drill them when we come back and everything. What will help you the most, it's not even like these lessons, but it's actually just learning where you are at the submission time. So here we go. What's this position here, Kiwi? Or class? Come on, Kiwi.
80-20.
What?
I don't know.
Let's see if people in the chat get it. Boom, boom.
Is it not?
I don't know.
That's the one where you shrimp out.
I don't know.
It's so hot in here. What the hell? Don't get fun.
She actually got it this time. It's 80-20.
Yeah.
Well done. Alright, what's this position? can't look at the chat. I blocked the chat from her.
411.
411, yes, very good.
I just know because Pop always gets me in that.
It's the most popular one.
Like, when they have both your legs, what can I do now? I don't do anything.
Tune in on Friday and you'll learn. What's this one? Where is this heel hook from?
Single leg. No?
One leg X, very
One
nice.
leg.
Or standard Ashi.
I'm not gonna call it Ashy. It's gonna confuse me.
Where is this heel hook from?
Outside.
She's an intellect now. Go for a hard one. I think this one is the one that confuses most people. Right, last one.
That one I don't get the title of.
There's no title.
There's no title for this.
What's this one?
That's the Game Over one.
Oh,
But I don't understand that. Why is it called
Game Over. Oh, it's called Game Over because people thought that this was basically game over when you get to this position. Like, you're 100% tapped. But it's not true.
So you can still escape.
You can still escape this. It's hard, but
So it's
yeah.
like you're getting it while they're running.
Yeah, so that in the running man escape. At the beginning, because no one knew how to do this would tap a lot of people.
Oh, they didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How to do it.
And if they don't clear this leg, they are kind of finished. Like, you have to clear this. Cool. Alright guys, well done today. Very good. That is it for today. But tune in on Friday, we'll learn all the escapes for these positions, which is probably a bit more important than the attack lessons. Like I said, these are like, there's not enough details in this lesson to cover all the mechanics of like the bite of the heel and what makes it powerful, the rotation. You're gonna have to practice it in real life, but at least you know where you are from each little scenario. Any last questions about heel hooks in general, life, relationship advice with Kiwi? We do it all here.
Be your therapists.
There's no word on Jiu-Jitsu yet, I'm afraid.
Oh yeah, I'm meant to start this week. Shit. I haven't bought my mom a present yet.
What's the date? 25th. It's
this Saturday.
Steve has said anything about Brighton opening yet? Wow. Because he can open it. He has. Does he still have the weight sections there? He had a little gym there, didn't he? So I'm guessing that can open, but no jiu-jitsu yet. Oh yes, I forgot to mention all the recommendations for the heel hook stuff. There's a couple, if you wanna get into heel hook, there's a couple of good people to teach you. One of them is the famous John Danaher.
Who's this guy?
He's
Bald guy.
bald guy. So he'll give you all the details about heel hooks, but his videos are so long. There you go. Yeah, perfect. You can watch him. Or if you want less time consuming one and very good for beginners, if I can remember this guy's name, Rob, something Rob. Let me try to find. There it is. There you go.
Oh, Bernaki.
Yeah.
Bernaki.
Now, he's not as well known, but what's the actual name of his DVD? Anyways, this guy here. Send the link to him.
Oh.
His DVD is a lot shorter, and it's basically like a simpler version of John Danaher's one, which is, I think, is way better than for beginners than Danaher one, because his one it's even complicated for me, and I'm a black belt. He makes things really long. So I'll look into those if you want to get really good at hook. Oh, and Lachlan Giles, he's quite short on explanation as well, which I like.
My mom wants a diamond for her birthday.
The mom wants a diamond
Yeah.
for her birthday.
Yeah.
Well, like just a diamond.
I don't know.
Is it a ring, a necklace? She just wants a full-on diamond.
I don't have that kind of money.
Get her short ski.
Oh, that's a good suggestion. Is Westfield open?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go Westfield.
We can buy a full-on. Okay.
Okay, well, it's not a diamond.
Just buy a full-on
It's
diamond.
a store.
Just buy a full-on diamond for her. Get it shipped over. Alright guys, that is it for today. Again, we're going to the escapes lessons on Friday, so tune in. Take it easy.
Bye bye.
No problem. I always go to the wrong ones.